Very good morning to one and all. Hope you are all fine and doing well. At the same time, take care on being at home. Don't wander here and there unnecessarily outside. Now here, coming to the regular concepts, you know very well, we are dealing with the concept of vectors. And while dealing with these vectors, our last class is all about the concept of resolution of a vector in a plane and the resolution of a vector in space, in 3D. Here in this particular class, I don't spend much time today for this particular class because first of all, I wish to request here to all of you, go through the earlier classes of vectors properly to get a little perfection. Unless you can't follow the class. So you should have more basics regarding the concept of vectors that we were dealt till now in the earlier classes. So this class I will give little examples and I will conclude within a short span of time. I don't take much time today. So that I hope you will go through all the basic classes properly so that you are able to get to understand my classes comfortably from next class onwards. This class I give you little examples to get more clarity on the concept of resolution of a vector in 2D and 3D. Of course, usually we come across more situations regarding the resolution of a vector in a plane. Anyway, of course I deal with even resolution in 3D. See, once look at this, if you wish to discuss about little examples on the concept of resolution of a vector in a plane, once look at this example. There is a body of mass m is placed on a horizontal floor. Now I have taken a rope and I have tied the mass with the rope so that I am pulling the rope. I am pulling the rope with a force F. When I am going to pull the rope with a force F, it means I am going to apply the force on the body of mass m with the help of the rope. Of course, this is acting at an angle theta with horizontal. You see, if you are going to look at this arrangement, this is all in a vertical plane. Imagine there is a body of mass m on a horizontal floor and you are going to pull the rope, to pull the body. You may think that my rope is in space, my rope is in air, in 3D. Even though exactly what you are expecting is right, your rope is in air, your rope which you are pulling is in space 3D, but I am handling the situation in a restricted vertical plane. I am going to imagine a vertical plane here, I am imagining, in which my rope is present. You can imagine here board. Board is a vertical plane to you in which your rope is present and you are pulling the body through the rope with the help of the rope. Then here this force in a plane, in a vertical imaginary plane, you have imagined a vertical plane through which you are going to pull the body of mass m with the help of the rope. Now this is the rope in this vertical plane and this is the direction in which the body moves, displacement of the body. So this whole situation is in a vertical plane of the board. So I can resolve the force into two perpendicular components like this. As the force is at an angle theta with a horizontal, so that its horizontal component is F cos theta and its vertical component is F sin theta. So if anybody has asked you what force is responsible for the motion of the body, F cos theta is responsible for motion of the body. This is what you need to understand. If you wish to have still more clarity on this, you can go with a little bit numerical example. See, there is a force of 10 Newton is acting at an angle 30 degrees with horizontal. A force of 10 Newton acting on the mass at an angle 30 degrees with horizontal, then this component is 10 cos 30 degrees and this component will be 10 sin 30 degrees. So that this horizontal component, let me write FH. F means force, H means horizontal component of the force. 10 into cos 30 degrees root 3 by 2 is equal to 5 into root 3. Of course, if you want 5 into 1.7, approximately 8.5 Newton. Similarly, vertical component FV is equal to 10 into sin 30 degrees. Sin 30 degrees 1 by 2. 10 into 1 by 2, 5 Newton. This is how the horizontal component of the applied force and the vertical component of the applied force can be handled. Here with this example, I wish to tell you one conclusion about resolution of a vector. So you can note down these points. While talking about resolution of a vector, either in 2D or in 3D, the first point you have learned, this resolution of a vector is nothing but considering the projections of my vector along coordinate axis. I repeat, considering the projection of a vector along coordinate axis will rise to the concept of resolution. Of course, the projections of any vector along the coordinate axis is called a component. The projection of any vector along the coordinate axis is known as component of that vector. So that this is horizontal component and this is vertical component. Now the different conclusion from earlier class, the different conclusion is any component of the force, any component of the vector must be less than the magnitude of that vector. Your vector of magnitude 10 Newton, remember this. This is the main vector. This is the original vector whose magnitude is 10 Newton. Then it has two components in a plane. One is 8.5 Newton, another one is 5 Newton. Don't say it is 13.5, don't say, because it's a vector, will not follow algebraic addition. That's what you need to understand. Any component of the given vector will have a magnitude less than that of the magnitude of original vector. Remember this and note down. The magnitude of any component of the given vector will be less than that of the magnitude of original vector. This is what you need to understand. Anyway, this is one example. Let us discuss one more example to explain the concept of resolution of a vector in a plane. Once look at this. Another example. Here there is an inclined plane whose inclination is some 60 degrees. A, B, C. Of course, AB is called base of the inclined plane. BC is called height of the inclined plane. And AC is your inclined plane, AC. Now here on that inclined plane, I have placed a body of mass m. I have placed a body of mass m on the surface of inclined plane whose inclination is 60 degrees. Here we can deal with the concept of resolution of a vector. You may get one doubt. Sir, here there is a force acting on the body and you have resolved that vector. What vector you will resolve over there? Yes, coming to the point. Whenever you place a body on the inclined plane, the weight of the body acting vertically downwards, weight mg, gravitational force acting on the body always vertically downwards. You know, force is a vector physical quantity, then gravitational force is a vector physical quantity, which is equal to mg acting vertically downwards. Now I am talking about resolution of a vector in this particular situation. What is that? Resolution of the weight of the body, W equal to mg. Hope you got clarity. So we are trying to resolve the weight of the body into two perpendicular components. Sir, then to divide into the perpendicular components, we need coordinate axis. Yes, certainly. You define the coordinate system now. You have to define it. When you wish to resolve any vector physical quantity, first you should decide or you should define coordinate axis. Yes. As my body is placed on the inclined plane and weight of the body acting vertically downward, so that I take one coordinate axis is along the inclined plane, the other coordinate axis is perpendicular to the inclined plane. That's all how my resolution. One coordinate axis is along inclined plane, the other coordinate axis is perpendicular to the inclined plane, because these coordinate axes must be perpendicular, you know it very well. Then you may get one doubt, sir, which is x-axis, which is y-axis? It's your choice. If it is x, that is y. If this is x and this is y, it's your choice. But those two coordinate axes must be perpendicular, that's it. So one is along the plane, another one is perpendicular to the plane. Of course, here a little geometry, this is 90 degrees because weight of the body is vertically downwards. So it is 90 degrees, this is 60. So this is 30. So this will be 60 again. 90, 60, this is 30, so this will be 60. So here once look at this, weight of the body acting vertically downwards, making an angle 60 degrees with perpendicular to the inclined plane. Suppose name it as y, name it as x for some time. Then its component along the y-axis will be, in this direction, it will be mg cos 60 degrees. Am I right or not? Because it is making 60 degrees with y-axis. So adjacent component is mg cos 60. Then this component will be mg sin 60. So the conclusion is, if a body of mass m is placed on the inclined plane of inclination theta, then the weight of the body will have two components. One component along the inclined plane, the other component is perpendicular to the inclined plane. If this is theta, this will be theta. So the perpendicular to the inclined plane, it is mg cos theta, and along the inclined plane it is mg sin theta. Here theta equal to 60, here generalized, that's it. So the conclusion, when a body of mass m is placed on the inclined plane of inclination theta or 60, then the weight of the body which is acting vertically downwards can have its two components. One is along the inclined plane, the other is perpendicular to the inclined plane. Generalize that point, generalize. If the angle of inclination is theta and the body of mass m, so that its component, its weight component or the component of weight of the body along the inclined plane is mg sin theta, perpendicular to the inclined plane it is mg cos theta. So that's the conclusion. When a body of mass m is placed on the inclined plane of inclination theta, then the component of weight of the body perpendicular to the inclined plane is mg cos theta, and along the inclined plane it is mg sin theta. And so note down, we go with a few more examples on the concept of resolution of a vector in a plane. Note down. Yes, just before getting into another example of resolution of a vector, let me discuss little more about geographical directions. Geographical directions means east, west, north, south. The first point you need to understand that all these geographical directions will be in a horizontal plane. Horizontal plane means, for example, if I have stand in this way, facing east, then behind me it is towards west. Then left of me is north, right of me is south. So all these are in a horizontal plane. Don't say upward is north, downward is south. Nothing will be like that. They will be in horizontal plane. But such things can be shown in the diagram in this way. For example, here it is the north. Then this will be south. On seeing this, people may think, sir, upward direction north, downward direction south, which is a misconcept. This diagram represents that here, this is north, this is north direction, and this is south direction, which can be shown like that. So here, if I stand like this, I am facing north. I stand like this according to the diagram. If I have stood like this, I am facing north. Then behind me it is south, according to the diagram. Then, how to identify east and west? I am telling you. If you know north, you can mention all the directions. Because if you are facing north, behind you it is south. North to east, always clockwise. If you move clockwise, you will come across east. Automatically the other direction is west. Means according to the diagram, if I have stood like this, I am facing north. Then right of me is east, because the north to east clockwise. Then left of me west, behind me south. This is all about the notation of geographical directions. Very good. Next, if you are talking about a direction exactly bisecting the north and east, means at 45 degrees, then you have to say the particular direction is northeast. Northeast. If you are talking about a specific direction that is bisecting the angle between south and east, of course 45 degrees, then it is southeast. Similarly, this is, here it is at 45 degrees, southwest, bisecting angle exactly bisecting. If it is here at 45 degrees, which is northwest. These are all geographical directions. What you should have some idea to learn about the concept of resolution of a vector. Now, once look at this example also. Once look at this. Same situation. North, east, here, west. For example, I have mentioned a specific direction that is making an angle 30 degrees with east. Look at this carefully. I have mentioned a specific direction which is making an angle 30 degrees with east. 30 degrees with east. Bagane undi. But if that is the case, maybe in this plane, maybe in this quadrant, but it is in this quadrant. In this quadrant means in between north and east, it is at an angle 30 degrees with east. But this is not northeast. You should not say it is 30 degrees northeast, which is wrong. Northeast means exactly at an angle 45 degrees, bisecting north and east directions. But here it is at an angle 30 degrees, in between north and east, with east it is making 30 degrees. That's why this is called 30 degrees with east. 30 degrees with east. But 30 degrees with east అన్నప్పుడు ఇది కూడా అవ్వచ్చుగా. 30 degrees with east అన్నప్పుడు ఇలా కూడా ఉండొచ్చు కదా. మరి ఎలా చెప్తాము? That's the reason why this direction is 30 degrees north of east. 30 degrees north of east అంటే east కి north వైపు. Then this is 30 degrees south of east అంటే east కి south వైపు. That's why it is 30 degrees south of east, but this is 30 degrees north of east. That's what you need to say. If you have understood that, look at this example and try to answer yourself. Look at this example. If you have understood what I have told you, north, south, this is east and this is west. Here it is at an angle 10 degrees with north. There is a specific direction that is making 10 degrees with north. 10 degrees with north. 10 degrees with north అంటే ఇలా కూడా ఉండొచ్చు కదా, ఇలా కూడా ఉండొచ్చు కదా. But there is a difference between these two directions. This is 10 degrees, this direction 10 degrees west of north. But this is 10 degrees east of north. Hope you are clear. Hope you are clear with this example. This is how the direction can be expressed in terms of geographical directions, because you are learning vectors where there is a necessity to specify the direction. Similarly, once look at this. This is north, east, south, and here it is west. Once look at this. There is a specific direction 30 degrees. How do you say this direction? Yes, 30 degrees with west, but towards south, but not towards north, towards south. That's why it is 30 degrees south of west. West is south way, so south of west. So these are the little more examples that you need to remember, you need to learn before going to learn the concept of vectors in detail. This is a little more information on geographical directions. Connecting with this, I give you one small example where you will get more clarity of resolution of a vector in a plane. Of course, in space also we can handle. We do come across more applications of resolution of vector in a plane. That's why I'm concentrating more on this, which is very simple even with the concept of 3D. It doesn't matter. Comes note down this. So these are four different points which can give you more clarity on geographical directions. Here, once look at the two different examples on the board to give you more clarity on this directions and resolution concept. A particle is moving with a speed of 10 meters per second due northeast. Due northeast means in northeast direction or towards northeast. It is moving with a speed of 10 meters per second. Then find its speed due east. So what will be speed of the particle in the direction of east? So a particle is moving with a speed of 10 meters per second due northeast. So if you are going to talk about the geographical directions, this is north, east, south and west. Your particle moving due northeast means like this. With what speed? 10 meters per second. See, speed of the particle mentioned with direction. So it's a velocity, which is a vector physical quantity. Because along with the magnitude of the speed with which it is traveling, direction is mentioned, which is northeast direction. Means exactly at 45 degrees. Now the question is, you have to find the speed of the particle due east. Means in the direction of east, you have to find its velocity. So very simple. This is velocity of the particle 10 meters per second towards northeast. You have to find its component in the direction of east. So when this is 10 meters per second at an angle 45 degrees with east, then velocity component towards east equal to 10 cos 45 degrees. Resolution. This is the 10 meters per second at 45 degrees with east. So component along east will be 10 cos 45 degrees, which is equal to 10 into 1 by root 2 meter per second. Of course, if you wish, you can do like this. 5 into 2 equal to 10 into 1 by root 2. Then here root 2 times will cancel. Then 5 root 2 meter per second. Still, if you want 5 into 1.4 approximately, root 2 1.414, approximately 1.4, which is 7 meter per second. So this is how you can explain about the speed of the particle due east. As you know, the speed of the particle due northeast. This is all about resolution connecting with geographical directions. Similarly, look at this question. A particle has a velocity of 20 meters per second due 30 degrees north of west. particle has a velocity of 20 meter per second due 30 degrees north of west, means like this. This is north, you know, east, south and west. 30 degrees north of west, like this, with 20 meter per second speed. 30 degrees north of west, so ikkada 30 degrees. This is very important. Ee 30 ikkada pedithe wrong ayipotundi. 30 degrees north of west, ante with west 30 degrees towards north. That's why north of west 30 degrees. Then find its velocity due north. In this direction you wish to know component. So velocity of the particle towards north you wish to write. This is 20 meter per second, making an angle 30 degrees with x-axis. So this component 20 cos 30, then this perpendicular component 20 sin 30. 20 sin 30 is equal to 20 into 1 by 2, which is equal to 10 meter per second. See how simple it is. So this is how resolution of a vector in a plane can be handled. As it is comfortable, I have explained taking an example like velocity, which is a vector physical quantity. Similarly, you can explain with the force, you can explain with the displacement, you can talk about the momentum. Any vector physical quantity can be handled in this way, not only velocity. As it is easy to understand for you, I have taken the example of a vector physical quantity, which is velocity. Handle in the same manner, either with the force, either with the momentum, either with the acceleration, either with the displacement, handle in the same way. Just the terminology changes, but the concept remains same. So this is all about little more examples coming to the concept of resolution of a vector and the geographical directions also, which is a new point that you have learned in today's class. So all the basic concepts have been explained. Still 1 or 2 points are there, I will cover in the next class, and we go into the detailed analysis of vectors of physics. Okay, take care.